Okay, this is the game Karjakin versus Anand, played in 2006. Karjakin plays E4 against Anand. Anand plays C5, and we have some fairly sharp but standard opening moves being played. A6 is very popular here, bishop E3, and now E5. In this pawn structure, black is often aiming to liberate later the d pawn with d5. This has all been played before, with both sides playing very aggressively, going for each other's king, and this is now evident with g4, and then returning to complement with b5. So you can see the attacks on both wings occurring. So an exciting game is evident here, and it's unlikely to be a draw if both sides keep on playing like this. g5, and now instead of moving the knight, and then fiercely attacks the opponent's knight. And now here, this is interesting, instead of e takes f4, and then continues with a5. Let's have a quick look at e takes f4. Would white be necessarily much better? Bishop takes f4. This pawn is a bit measly on this d line. Now it's takes knight e5. Maybe white will continue with something like h4. And then, is this quite dangerous for black? Let's see, a5, king v1. Seems like another game. Anyway, so back to the game. Anand left his pawn on e5 and just played the move a5, and now f5. So is he going to take on b3? And for a second time he just ignores the threat and does his own threat with a4. Well, was bishop takes b3 so bad? Let's have a quick look at this. C takes b, say. a4. Let's take here. Play king b1. Queen a8, say. Attacking e4 and a2. Knight c1. Is this playable? Well, white is solid here with the king safety on there, but what about this pawn? Take this pawn, bishop d3. This could backfire, I suppose. And now, take b3. Queen takes b4. Perhaps white's doing okay here because there's still this threat of f6, and black really hasn't got that many pieces around white's king. So that's an interesting thing to look at briefly. So Anand just fiercely attacks a piece again. After knight d4, this is a very sharp move which has occurred before. After pawn takes d4, knight takes d4. Now, one would think that maybe bishop takes a2 is playable. Anand plays b3 here, so there's another sort of tactical mystery. Let's have a look at bishop takes a2. What would white play here? This one's easily busted. Knight c6. Forking queen and bishop. Now the queen moves. Knight takes d7. And now, perhaps white is clearly better after queen takes b4. There's a threat of queen a3. And, say knight d5. Knight d5. Bishop d5. Bishop d5. White seems to have dominating bishops here, and again black's attack is a bit lacking, and again there's this f6. So Anand is not too keen on bishop takes a2. He plays b3 instead now, trying to get his rook to really threaten white's king. Takes was interesting, but probably too scary. So white played this. After takes here, knight takes c2. Bishop b3 now. So after pawn takes bishop, black has some attacking prospects here. Knight a3 was played. Knight e5. h4. Now, we reach a crossroads here. There's a previous game reference with Shabalov versus Nick Nefirmian in Foxwood's tournament where Rook a4 was played. But Shabalov ended up winning that game. If we have a quick peek at it, I'll just quickly play what happened in that other game. You can see White's pieces are quite aggressive on the king's side, and we're reaching final position. So Black had resigned here, so this shows perhaps the variation can be dangerous for Black. So Anand's innovation on this was to play not Rook a4, but Rook a5. After Queen c3, played Queen a8. So again, there's pressure on e4, and also perhaps Black is now threatening Rook a3. Bishop g2 was played, Knight c7. Now, is the knight on c7 and pre, you may ask. Queen takes c7 was played, Rook c8, so there's a double piece sack here, Queen takes e7. So has Anand lost the plot here, or is this all brilliant? He plays now Knight c4, and it's apparent that at least all Black's remaining pieces are attacking White's king. So it does look like a very aggressive position to have to defend this. But was this double piece sack really prepared? G6 was played. HG, FG. Now Knight takes A3. B takes A3. Rook takes A3, and we're reaching a critical moment here. Is White really able to defend against these two rooks and queen? G takes F7. Now, if instead of G takes F7, Queen takes F7, then maybe just King H8. So G takes F7, King H7, and it looks a bit grim for White's king here. So out of a seemingly theoretical line which has been played before, Anand has found a way to sack two pieces to get a very cruel attack with two rooks and a queen. White played an under promotion knight check and then sacrificed the queen to stave off the mate. So as Anand wanted to take the material here or go for the kill on the king, he went for the kill. And here it's a mate in 5. So this is not very good. If now White resigned here, and if King d2, Rook a2, King e1, Queen e2. So that's a fascinating theoretical encounter from Anand, and innovating with first Rook a5. But if he'd really prepared this double piece sack with starting with Knight c7, that truly is incredible. And if White had ignored, just let the knight go to c7 and just played, for example, Bishop f1, maybe, then maybe Black is still have attacking prospects with Rook c8. This queen's being now harassed. So that was a very interesting innovation, an idea of just sacking these two pieces to emphasise this A-file attack. Brilliant game by Anand.